In September, I spent 2 weeks filming in the Šumava National Park, and I would like to show you what I saw there. The weather in Šumava was rather unpredictable, and I experienced all kinds of conditions, from romantic sunrises to wind-driven fog and classic rainy days. But I'm a wildlife filmmaker, not a landscape one. So let's take a look at what animals I managed to capture. One day I met a couple of red crossbills. Even though it's a bit unusual for September, this yellow one is a teenager, persistently bothering its father, probably trying to get some food out of him. I also tried to film a three-toed woodpecker, but all I kept finding were great spotted woodpeckers. Here's a female using what's called an anvil, a suitable piece of wood where the bird wedges its food, usually a cone, to make it easier to peck. I was hoping to film a pygmy owl, but I only met 2 uncooperative boys. Not every year do you meet a male like the one from 2019. Back then, he kindly whistled right in front of my camera and later decided it was even safe enough to take a nap in my presence. Unfortunately, it was quite cold for insects this year, so I didn't focus on them much. Let's at least take a look at this beautiful green female of the Wart biter, which I filmed a few years ago. You can identify a female by her saber-shaped ovipositor at the end of her abdomen, and also by her intense focus on hygiene. As you can see, she was constantly cleaning herself. One day it rained really heavily. In that cold downpour, I just gave in and decided to check out the wolves at the visitor center in Sangin. I managed to film one of them gnawing on a bone, and you can even hear the loud crunching sound. These shots aren't exactly exciting since they were filmed in captivity, but I thought you might enjoy them anyway. I was hoping that the wolves would howl into the camera at dusk, but this time they howled somewhere down below the bridge, almost in the dark. Well, maybe next time. But back to birds. I was planning to finally get some decent footage of the ghost of the Šumava forests, the Hazel grouse. Unfortunately, I didn't succeed. Again. What you're looking at right now are my only hazel grouse shots from 2017. During one trip through the forest, I unexpectedly came across two males who were whistling threateningly at each other, and one of them had a very unusual voice. This is the usual hazel grouse mating call. And now, here's the other, very strange one. I almost thought there was a person with a call whistle in the bushes, or that it was a cry of a dying rodent. I was quite confused, but then I really spotted the hazel grouse in the trees. So apparently they can call like this too. One morning, a tree creeper happened to cross my camera. Although I have much better footage of this little bird in my archive, here we can see it in the typical mountain spruce forest environment. Nearby, I even spotted a roe deer. It was somewhat hidden in the tall grass, but it was still an interesting sight, as I usually encounter red deer only in these mountain forests. Well, red deer. I spent most of my time with them, but the amazing Šumava environment is the most challenging place in the entire country to film them. On the very first morning, I managed to spot a stag at a wallow. Unfortunately, I was too late. He was just leaving. Luckily, a doe and her calf appeared near me, and the leader needed to check on them. They then disappeared into the thicket, and the filming was over. I tried waiting by another wallow several times, and this one time I did manage to film a doe. Kind of. Another day, I approached a grazing stag. Since he wasn't doing much in front of the camera, I tried greeting him with a stag call. He just stood there, staring for 12 minutes. Then he finally moved, and I almost got excited that he was coming over to check me out. But no, he just walked away. Oh well. Another day, I was slowly walking along a hiking trail when I spotted another grazing stag in a dead spruce forest. But the wind wasn't in my favor this time. The stag soon suspected something and decided to leave. Just when I thought that my time with the red deer was over for the year, thanks to the calls of ravens and eagles, I managed to find a dead stag. I thought it might have been the work of local wolves. But it turned out that the animal had likely died after a fight with another stag. I got excited at the thought of documenting the scavengers feeding on the carcass. I dedicated my last day in the field to this, but sadly to no avail. Well, that's it. I was hoping for greater results from my 2 weeks spent in the field, but I didn't leave unhappy. Most of these animals could be filmed much more easily elsewhere, but then they wouldn't be in such a unique environment as Šumava. Hopefully something breathtaking will work out next time. Take care, and I'll see you soon.